Alright, so here's the situation today. We got 100 acres of corn left, all at the end of the driveway. 100 acres is about one good long day for us. Take us a long day to get that done, but it's doable. We do 100 acres in a day fairly often. The kicker is it's Sunday morning right now, and it is supposed to rain on Tuesday. So we're gonna have that knocked out before Tuesday, but right now we got a bunch of other things we want to catch up on this morning. Mainly the biggest thing is we got to get a bunch of corn transferred around in those bins right there, get it in the right spots so that we have room to put that last 100 acres somewhere, because we're pretty well full right now. So we got to make room, finish drying, maybe haul a little bit out to town, shuffle a bunch around. That's the biggest thing. Then we're gonna shovel up under the dryer and start cleaning up. But right now I'm gonna start by greasing this thing so we can go ahead and get a bunch more tillage done before we get that rain on Tuesday, because we're supposed to get about 1 inch. So we're gonna try and knock out as much of everything as we can before that happens. We cleaned up 2 acres of pasture ground here a couple of years ago, and we ran into well, it didn't want to pull out, so we're gonna dig down and see if maybe if there'd be a chunk of concrete or something to the end of it, stuck to the end of it, because it looks like ready rod, and it wants to pull about 3 feet of dirt out around it. So we're gonna dig down and see what we got underneath there. Well, here's what we ran into. According to what we're finding in the ground here, we had to dig a bigger hole than we thought we would, but we're pretty sure that somebody somewhere along the way, probably in the 50s or 60s, either Grandpa or one of the neighbors must have buried a silo out here, because there's old silo bands and cement staves in the ground. So we're just cleaning up what we can, and gonna clean up the top, push the dirt back over it, and hope that we quit running into things out here. So that's kind of what we found. This is how cows live where I'm from. Sometimes you put the old guys in the equipment just to get it running and get some work done, but not only do they break stuff, they also can't figure out the auto steer on the computers once in a while. That's just some of the struggles we have out here on the farm day to day. I love peanut M&Ms. The thing we got to fix this morning that I noticed is the mount here for these. These are what we call the stock stompers. They run right behind the row, and they snap over the leftover stem of the stalk, because after a few thousand acres of running over corn stalks, these tires start to show a lot of wear right in the row where those corn stalks go, and those are not cheap tires. So we put these on just to help stomp those stalks down. And this bracket here is nothing's broke here, but the bolts have come loose. We lost a couple bolts up here, so I got to get that pushed back into place and put some new bolts in there so we get that into place. So didn't wreck anything, but we found it this morning, and we got to get it fixed before it does wreck something, because eventually one of these U-bolts are going to break, and then we're going to end up running over it, and that's not going to be fun either. Well, now we got a semi that's completely dead out in the field, so we're headed out there with the service truck. Dad's in front of me with that and a charger. We'll get the generator going, start the charger up, and we'll have to let that sit for a couple hours while we watch the Vikings, or listen to the Vikings on the radio as they steamroll over the Eagles. Well, we need a couple of parts from John Deere now. We need a C-shank for the ripper. We broke one of those on the disc blades on the ripper. We also need a couple of bolts for that mounting deal on the stock stompers on the corn header. So we got to get a couple of big metric bolts and a C-shank. And the lease is up on this tractor now, and they need this thing back on Wednesday. So I figure it's a good day to sit in here and drive it to town and return this thing while I listen to the Vikings game. Got the Kenworth going. I love Mountain Dew too. Got the stompers all fixed up. Just had to remove all these so it would get light enough so that we could shift this over, get it all lined back up again. Throw these bolts in. We had to get those down at John Deere because those are a metric bolt. So to do it right, we had to get a couple of those, put those in, threw the stompers back on, and we're all good to go. I don't know what, but something awful happened here. Vikings did not beat the Eagles, which is a bummer, but hopefully the next game goes better. Anyway, I'm headed out with the combine now. Dad's in front of me with a grain cart. We're gonna bring the service truck back that we had out there to get the semi going before. I don't know if we're gonna take any corn out tonight. We probably will, but right now we're still kind of waiting on the dryer to catch up to make some room. We're down to our last 100 acres here, and we're just running out of room, so we got to transfer a bunch of corn over, get it all in the right spots before we can really start taking corn again. So we got a bunch of catch up that we're playing in the yard with the bins, and hopefully we can get that all done and get this corn knocked out before the rain comes on Tuesday. Drying corn, getting that bin empty, making room. We ended up coming out, and we're going to knock a few loads out tonight, try to get ahead of these last 100 acres. Make sure we can get everything done Tuesday or Tuesday night before the rains hit. So that's our nice little Sunday.
Down, sacking the trash, it's honeydew this.